That was fun. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Twang and Bang. The DP-12 is a double barrel pump shotgun that might as well be called the double tap 12 because that, as you can see, is what it really excels at. And that's by design. It was designed to give you a very fast follow-up shot like a double barrel dangerous game rifle. But it's also designed to give you 16 shots in a shotgun that complies with most state limits on magazine capacity. It's built like a tank, but it doesn't drive like one. And that's why it's coming up next on Twang and Bang. Connecticut shotgun manufacturing made their name around ornate traditional double-barrel shotguns costing as much as a decent used car. So it came as a bit of a shock to see them introduce a very modern bullpup pump shotgun. What wasn't a surprise coming from them was that the DP-12 is double-barreled. While chambered for 3-inch shells, the DP-12 is best stuffed with 7 rounds of 2 3/4-inch shells in each tube and 1 in each chamber for a total loaded capacity of 16 shells. The receiver is machined from a solid block of 70-75 hardened aluminum billet, contributing to its extremely stout feel. The 18 3/4-inch barrels are machined from 4140 steel, and the shrouds are glass reinforced nylon. All interior parts are either steel or aluminum, chosen for durability and reliability. The DP-12 weighs 9.5 pounds, but its bullpup configuration and 29.5-inch length make it handle like a much lighter shotgun. It's shipped with removable cylinder chokes, which can be swapped out for a set of breachers or even stiletto-style standoff chokes. The other end contains a double-sprung recoil-reducing butt pad with a very wide footprint. Combined with the bullpup's weight, this system tames stout magnum loads to where you might forget you're shooting a pump shotgun and not an autoloader. The DP-12 is completely ambidextrous, with the left side being a perfect mirror image of its right, with the exception of graphics and a few fasteners. There really isn't a way to field strip a DP-12, but the double-wide combination loading and ejection port provides easy access to the bolts for lubrication and basic cleaning tasks. Detail stripping is actually discouraged by the manufacturer, but if you're going to do it, it's best done on a surface that won't scatter or hide small parts. The process is not difficult in a skill sense, but you do need to be careful to follow the exact order in the manual for both disassembly and reassembly. That said, my DP-12 came generously lubed from the factory. I always run a patch or a bore snake through the barrel of a new gun just to make sure there aren't any unexpected obstructions, but other than that, this double-barreled bad guy blaster was ready to run right out of the box. The DP-12 is basically 2 Browning bottom eject shotguns tied together, so it would be reasonable to expect the action to be doubly hard to cycle, but it's not. This is glass smooth right out of the box. The spring cushion butt pad definitely allows the DP-12 to noticeably move during recoil, but of course that's how it works to absorb its energy. However, I noticed that a lot more looking at it on this video than when actually shooting the shotgun. I had no problems making follow-up shots as fast as I'm typically able to do with an autoloader. Of course, the main thing you'll notice is that you pull the trigger twice, then cycle the action. This is because the shells in both barrels are loaded together and ejected together. That means there's no complicated switching between magazine tubes that might affect the mechanical reliability of the DP-12. It's getting busy on the range here. Lots of people shooting around me. I'm going to pattern some number 4 buck. This is my favorite home defense load. It's 2 3/4 inch from Federal. It does not have the flight control wad because I want the spread. Right about 15 yards from the target, I'm going to do 1 point of aim for both chambers. I will take that. That's beautiful. That's what I want to see. He be leaking. I'm right at 30 yards from this target. And I'm going to load up a couple slugs. I've been playing around with them a little bit already to show you the spread between right barrel and left barrel with this particular load. I don't have either barrel zeroed, or the sight zeroed for either barrel right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the red dot right here on the target. His left collarbone, our right side from this perspective. And you're going to see where the right barrel hits and then the left barrel hits. So that's not too bad. It's shot a little bit low and to the right for the right barrel. I can get that to nothing by zeroing for that. And then it's shot 6-7 inches to the left, same level. So I'd say that's pretty good. I want to repeat that with multiple pairs, but that's about what I've been getting playing around with this load. And so there are two philosophies on what to do. One is to zero for your right barrel, so you know when you put that dot somewhere and you pull that trigger exactly where that right barrel is going to go. But then you have to do a lot of Kentucky windage for the left barrel. The other option would be to sight it in between. That's something that I would definitely do if I was shooting buckshot or birdshot. But you just have to play around with both kinds of zeros until you figure out what you can consistently hit where you want to with that zero. The safety on a DP-12 doesn't just look like one on an AR-15, it acts just like one. This one isn't ambidextrous like on the DP-12, so I'm going to flip it around. But with the hammer cocked, I can move the safety from safe, fire, completely at will. However, once I drop that hammer, I can't move that safety to safe. Doesn't matter on an AR-15 because that hammer is down. You can't pull the trigger and release a hammer. It's already released. But the DP-12 adds a twist. The DP-12 has 2 barrels and 2 hammers. And this sets up a situation with the safety you need to be aware of. Because with both hammers cocked, I can move that safety to fire, safe at will. But as soon as I drop one hammer, I can no longer move that safety from fire to safe because that hammer is down, laying across the selector, not allowing it to move up. However, the left hammer is cocked. Everything is live. And just hitting that trigger fires that left hammer. You need to be aware of that. Of course, then you need to cock it all the way and put both hammers back before you can move that selector switch. So this is something that I know bothers a lot of people. Doesn't bother everybody. I don't know where you're going to fall on that, but you do need to be aware. This is how the safety works, and it's because it's modeled after that in the AR-15. Like other people I've talked to that have used these, I think the biggest challenge is in deprogramming my muscle memory for pumping in between each shot. I've gotten okay with taking double taps at each target, but I'm finding an obstacle there moving from one target to the next in the middle of a pump cycle. So I've got 2 targets set up and I'm going to shoot one, shoot the other, pump, shoot one, shoot the other, pump, and see if I can start training, detraining myself, if you will, for this DP-12. I did it. I pumped. I tried to pump. That's tricky. That is going to be a very, very hard thing for me to do because I've done a lot of shotgunning with a pump shotgun. Not impossible, certainly, but it's something that you need to know. You need to understand that your body is going to resist shooting twice, then pumping over and over and over again. So it is bottom eject, and you can see on my forearm, I don't know if I can get that in the camera, but it's red and abraded. It doesn't hurt. You know, I've seen worse from other bottom eject firearms. This is not that big a deal, but it is something you need to know. When the shells eject, they come down across your forearm, but I didn't even notice it until I looked at it. And I think that if I wore a long sleeve cotton t-shirt, I wouldn't have any of that. I think that's all it would take to prevent that from happening. I found the easiest way to load this is by putting 2 shells in at once, and I have it laying across my shoulder like this, and just shoving them in. Put 2 in, shoving them in. And if you end up with an odd number, of course, in a self-defense situation, you want to make sure it's on the right side, because that way you don't go click and then you have another bang. That makes sure you go bang, 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 and you're emptying your tube until you go click. Just like the Browning bottom eject shotgun, you actually have a tab that you can push to eject the shells to unload. Of course, I'm not going to do that. I want to shoot some more. Just like that. I'll tell you what, there's a lot that I need to get used to. This is crazy fun to shoot. Crazy fun. Really, really good recoil control. Super nice trigger. Lots of fun. Believe it or not, I just checked the website. You can get this in a blinged out gold version. You can also get it in FDE and kind of a foliage green. My favorite is still the black you see here. I get to handle a lot of different firearms in what I do, and this DP-12 is definitely one of the nicest shotguns that I have cycled straight out of the box. There's no question that a lot of quality goes into building this and assembling it. If you remember earlier in the video where I had it all laid out in the parts after detailed stripping it, there are little white stickers all over it. The people who put this together, who quality checked it, literally have to put their name on the shotgun, and it really shows. It shows in how this works. Like I said, it's built like a tank, but it does not drive like one at all. Its super short form factor makes it very, very pointable, makes it a pleasure to shoot, and it fits in covert rifle cases like this Racket 36 from VanQuest that I love. This is my range bag for this now. You know, this is the kind of shotgun that you really have to understand how it works before you're going to commit to using this, especially to defend your life. If I could wave my magic engineering wand over this, I would have a different safety system, one that would work whether one hammer was down or both hammers were up. I'd love to see them change that in a future design. You do have to spend a lot of time training to get used to the fact that you pull the trigger twice, then pump. I think what I found is, even though I might not have undid all the muscle memory I have from standard pump shotguns, I got to where that moment where I try to rack it and realize I need to pull the trigger again, I'm on that trigger again, pulling it, and it's really not significantly slowing me down. Certainly not compared to a regular pump shotgun, and I feel like I'm getting the second follow-up shot pretty close to what I would get with an autoloader anyway. So I think that's what you'll find with the training. You'll get to where you recover from trying to pump it when you don't need to. You won't necessarily get rid of that. But I think that that's definitely doable. You just need to know that it will take some time to do it. If you want to learn more about the DP-12, be sure to click the link in the video description below. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook so you can see what I'm doing between videos, and be sure to click right here to subscribe so you can see my next videos on bows, guns, and other cool stuff. I really appreciate you watching Twang and Bang, and I hope to see you next time.